Ooh. Black coral? It's got some interesting green
Settle
on
down
it.
for a second.
Yeah, just touch it.
The colouring is interesting there,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's green, that's characteristic of anything?
Black corals can have two different colors. This certainly seems to have a brown and green. Yeah, that's really interesting. Could be. We need to see the. We should grab it for sure.
Slide around the other side.
Yeah, surely.
So stylasterid corals, these white delicate corals, hydrocorals.
Actually, we have stylopathid, heteropathic.
I'm going to jump up a little closer to the computer.
Yep. Are the feeds down on both?
Sorry?
Are the feeds down?
The feeds go down, the feeds are coming back up.
Okay.
Catchy time with the internet, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting coloration. So they're small colony. Do we see anterior pinnules? Oh, turn. I don't think so. So the next question is, are the lateral pinnules alternating or sub-opposite? We'll just have to see later. We can grab it.
Okay.
The current's pretty strong, so is it not worth trying to pick up and look into the camera?
We can try it. I was going to swing around this way, but it's just going to push me right into it, so this is the...
Okay.
Get out of it. I think we can get it close to the vehicle, we'll be able to
All right.
take a picture of it.
Yeah, I guess see how it is when it's being held in the current. If it's too strong, we'll just throw it in BioBox. Which one's available?
We've only used A and 3.
Okay, so 1B. And we expect rock to come in, right?
Yeah.
We expect a rock, maybe?
Except we've got an A as cup coral.
Cup coral? Nothing else? Okay, we can put in 1A then. What's the verdict? Alternating. This is alternata. We'll take a good picture of it now because you can never get as good of an image as you can right here now. Looks like we broke a branch. That's all right. So, just zoom in. Alright, it's hard to get a good image. We'll just throw it in the box. 1A. It's got a really short, unpinnulated stem. It's be an interesting one to add to our collection. We are certainly going to write a paper about this genus from these specimens alone, better understanding the relationships between the species.
Try it. Okay, 1A.
Yeah, 1A is fine. I think a branch is broken off, but it would be all right if you can get as deep in as possible before letting go. You could use that branch for DNA. Nice. That's probably fine. Yeah, there seems to be two different colors. It seems to be brown and green. Having multiple colors on an individual colony isn't unheard of. You could find it in the shallows on the whip corals. So it's interesting, of course. But why, I'm not really sure. Nice. All right. Good collection. That's a good one.
Is that right here?
No, that's okay.
So close.
All right, want to look at it? Let's see. So it's an octocoral, or is it? Are these zoanthids? I think James is on. Maybe not.
Yeah, okay. Do you think this has got a black coral stem with some?
I would say Gorgonian stem,
Yeah.
and then
And colonized by zoanthids.
maybe, or they're just soft coral polyps.
Yeah. Very confusing.
Yeah, well, they seem pretty. There seem to be two rows of polyps, but they're on both sides. I don't know. James is in here, so we'll never know.
If we don't need it, we don't.
No, we don't need it. It's okay.
Unfortunately.
We got some good samples today.
Oop, little hermit crab down here. No,
Yeah,
just
a little hermit crab.
just going back into his hole. So interesting fact I learnt about the Diamond Islets where we are now is that snowflake moray eels will use the wash of the waves to throw themselves up on the beach to catch hermit crabs and other crabs walking around on the sand. Because moray eels live in the ocean, but so they can't be out of the water too long, but they'll actually jump up onto the beaches to grab the crabs
And then slither back in.
and slither back in. Yeah.
Those brittle stars on the soft coral. Okay, it's almost 20 degrees Celsius.
Lots of rubble. Sand dollars. You see these little sand dollars popping out? The round discs. There's another one here. Most of it is probably halimeda. There's a fair bit of coral rubble and amongst it. Yeah, so these larger discs, they'd be urchins, flat sand-dwelling urchins. Just like a big debris slope, you know, it's all just rolled down as a big mass.
And it seems...
What have we got here? What sort of fish is that living in the sand here? Look a bit like lizard fish.
Yeah.
We got gastropods. Yeah, there's all kinds of shelly material coming down from above.
Soft corals, black corals. Very healthy site. A lot of corals.
Oh, that's pretty over here on the right.
The green coral. The soft coral, the Parthopathes in the middle. Pronoid.
More of these sand-dwelling fish.
Yeah, they look like lizardfish.
They look like lizards, yeah.
Yeah.
A few cup corals still under the ledges.
Yeah, we've collected enough to generally characterize the common corals and sponges living in these areas. You know, I'm no longer collecting every one I see, because we've collected a few of them to represent each species, and that was the whole point, was to kind of build up a checklist of species occurring in these different habitats. What do you think that is?
It looks loose.
Oh, it's loose, yeah.
Where are you looking?
Could have come from anywhere.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. It looks like a sponge.
That form of pounding.
We're just starting to get into view the red coloration on the rocks. So this would be the lower limit of photosynthetic light. So we've got some interesting things here. We got looks like shark eggs, or let's have a close look on there. Or it could be a mollusk. It could be a nudibranch that's actually wrapped itself. I mean, because they do eat corals. It looks more like a nudibranch of some kind. And we're looking at the bottom of it, and it's actually the mantle's wrapped around. Yeah, it looks like a nudibranch to me.
Do you see this? That's a nudie.
Ah, yeah, well spotted. Yeah, in the background here, we've got a nudibranch on the sand.
Zoom out, I'll go inside if you go.
Sure.
And we've got quite a pretty fish up here on the left.
We'll zoom out all the way.
Yeah. So we're just having a bit of a scan around here. There's quite a lot in this picture. Got a little nudibranch right in front of us. Jeremy spotted it. There we go, tiny little thing. Just here on the sand.
Okay, now everyone get your nudie books out.
Some nice
What is it?
red-brown spots. Lovely. There's quite a nice colony over
the left.
corals over on the left as well. Still lots of halometer sediment and then some benthic forms. It's a nice little fish up here.
Okay, for the fish people. Oh.
What do we got here? Is this a goby? No, I was looking for a hole. Maybe fish people can tell us what we're looking at there.
We should hear Gemma coming in 5, 4, 3.
Very pretty purple head. There we go. There's a great view. And I think it looks like some anemone over here to the left. Just got to keep the coral people happy. There's something large in the sand. There it is. Go up. Now, what is that?
Is that another sand dollar?
Okay, is that an urchin? Yeah, okay, it looks like possibly a dead urchin. Yeah, it is. Yep, for sure. So that's for the echinoderm people. And if we go further left, there's actually some nice soft corals.
There's a sea star.
Sea star, more echinoderms. There is a lot of life in that. You just got to get close enough to see it. Okay. There we go.
Right.
Over here. Now these look like Brisington sea stars. They've got that classic sort of orangey colour. So they're not. I think they're brittle stars. This is a sea star. And the white colony underneath, these are stalacerids. They got that classic delicate shape. So these are hydrozoan corals.
Living on
yeah.
octocoral.
What's that?
Living on the octocoral.
Yeah, that's interesting. Typically they're down on the rock, aren't they? Like you can see there's a few more stalacerids in the background.
Okay.
That is pretty. Yeah, now this is a brittle star on the lower one, but that's a sea star up on the tall one. Very interesting. Okay, we're in the lower mesophotic zone, and there is light available for photosynthesis here because we're just seeing the first of the red encrusting algae growing on the rocks here.
Happy?
Happy. How can you not be happy on the ROV Falkor? Get that soundbite?
Shiny, happy people.
Yeah. So we got Chris and Adam on our ROV controls, assisted by John on the audio desk.
That's interesting color. And we are rising.
Definitely more corals coming into view now there, Jeremy. Oh, this is nice.
Octocorals.
Yeah. That Brisington sea star right at the top. Yeah. When you get lots of them clustered together, they really, that's quite spectacular to see.
So the nudibranch we found doesn't look like anything in the Bilius book. Fantastic. New species.
Big colony on the left here.
Oh yeah, these are interesting. Are they soft corals? They must be. Yeah. Here's another one of those thin branched, the one that we lost yesterday. It's kind of bigger. Yeah, can we set them? Yep. So this specimen, it would be currently identified in the genus Bathypathes, and it's likely that a lot of the species in this genus are going to change. Notably, we're going to create more species in this genus. So this looks like a bit more of a mature, it's a larger sized colony than we collected previously. You can see it's very thin branched, very wispy, but it's larger than the others, so it'd be good. It's always good to have an adult sized colony when you're doing taxonomy work, because if it's not an adult, you can't be sure if something is small because it's growing, or or if that's just what it is as an adult. So it'd be good to add this one to our little collection. And we could put it in BioBox 3-4. So this is Bathypathes, either pseudo-alternata or Platycalcus. I don't think I'm saying that right. I've never actually said that species out loud before. You read these species names in books all the time, and
Yeah. I think the trick is to say it fast.
yeah,
And then no one will pick you up on it.
Platycalcus, fantastic. Yeah, it's a really nice specimen. So it's very thin branched. It's way shallower than the other schizopathids. And so I kept saying this because and we keep finding it between 200 and 300 meters, when normally the schizopathids, the genera in the schizopathidae are found below 1,500 meters. So is this specimen just look like a schizopathid, but it'll actually have affinity to shallower species? Maybe. If so, we would create a new genus for them, or put them in a genus, whatever genus they're most closely related to. Mm-hmm. Or we confirm that it is a schizopathid, and that family just occurs over extremely wide bathymetric range. It could be as deep as 5,000 meters. So for it to be from 200 to 5,000, I mean, it could be anywhere.
So here's a good question. How can it be a pseudo-alternata if the branches are alternate?
Yeah, it's a good question. So it's, I think, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they called it pseudo-alternata. Can't answer that.
Oh, there's our turtle shell. And
Yeah, but they certainly are alternating the branches, right? I mean, it's different than alternatopathies. Yeah, I would just look at the literature to be sure. Yeah, you're right. So it would be, yeah, I guess look at the literature and get back to you. But the pseudo-alternata does have alternating branches. That's a good one.
Alright, okay, close.
oh, it's floating out. Yep, got him.
No, it wasn't split. There's a genus called Alternatopathes, but there is no species Alternata. I'll get back to you on the next dive. Get you to pull out the paper.
What are these small yellow colonies coming into view?
Something like hard corals. Let's see. Yeah.
Very large polyps.
Actually, this might be a good one to get. Yeah. Yeah, it's certainly a hard coral. That's a good looking one. Should I zoom out?
Happy about it. I think I'm stable here.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
The rock that's on it.
There's no, we don't need a rock at this point. Yeah, it's a bit deep for that. It would have just tumbled down from above anyway, Chris. Whoa, there we go.
Oh, I didn't get the bottom. Go back to that.
Probably put it in A.
1A?
So Andrew Carroll from Canberra is joining us. Andrew was on the first leg of this expedition, now back in Canberra. We've got Chris and Adam on as ROV pilots today, assisted by John on the audio desk.
Hi, Andy. That's right. So, Jeremy. His alternata is now in alternata pathias alternata.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
When I grabbed that, there was a little bit at the bottom. But
Yeah.
I got it, so it's in there. It's just gonna be really small.
Yeah, I saw that. Pretty good.
What's happening? Keep going.
Yeah.
Yep. Onwards and upwards. Seeing lots of urchins scattered over the seafloor, probably being washed out from the reef. The reef is quite close to us now. We're right near. Ooh, there's the name of that red coral. It's just a red colonial coral. Tubipora. Yeah. So there's a number of
Like organ pipe?
number of shallow water corals that when they die they don't bleach white, they actually retain their colour, and this is one of them. Tubipora, isn't it?
Yeah,
Tubipora, I'll just zoom in. So this is clearly dead. Oops, sorry, just going. It's a soft coral. Yeah. But the skeleton retains this red colour. And I think there's a hydrozoan that retains a blue skeleton. Is that right? Yeah. So there's some unusual corals out there that can keep the pigments of the skeleton even after they've died. But we're on. Thanks, gents. We're on a pretty obviously it's a scree slope, and I was just describing as we're heading towards the coral reef. It's actually a gap between the reef. So we got central diamond islets on one side, and then we have a shallow reef on the other, and a bit of a channel between the two. And as we approach the shallower reefs, we're actually approaching this saddle between these two shallower reefs, and so we're probably getting a lot of sediment that's coming from the lagoon down onto the steeper flanks here. So a lot of rubble, but in amongst the hard rock boulders, we're still getting corals that can attach like this this delicate white stylasterid coral just here on the right. And this is the zone we've been finding them in all the way across the Coral Sea Marine Park. We find these even up as far as 100 metres deep, typically under ledges and things that don't have sediment on. But in this zone from about 200 to 100 metres, we'll see these delicate white stylasterid corals. Yes, that's right. The tubipora is a shallow water coral, and it's clearly just rolled down from above. So there's a lot of debris here you can recognise from that would have lived in shallow waters. Got a nice, we've got a fish just over here on the centre. Let's go up and see what we got here. It's just floating a little bit with the currents. Any ideas, anyone? Just going to zoom in here. Whoop, too far. Sorry, we're just floating. Yeah.
2 seconds. I'm just going to down.
We're just going to put down here and have a close look at this fish. There's a fish there. Got a very strange shaped head. Looks like a little goby just behind it.
There, sorry about that.
Thanks, Adam.
So so that's waypoint. You're not going any further to the south there. I think I can stretch out to waypoint 13. Do you have a waypoint up there? Okay, I'm going to just basically see how high I can get up that reef or at that point without putting us into this way. And then once we're up there,
That is a strange looking fish.
over the head.
Yeah, it has looks like little white dots on it.
Work our way, I guess, out.
His jaws actually protrude out. We're just not quite in the right angle, but it's got quite a distinctive looking jaw.
Okay. Is that full soon? Okay.
We might get Gemma to join us now. We're in the lower mesophotic, and she is our fish biologist on board, so we'll just go and chase her up. She might be able to help us with this. You see the mouth now, it's quite elongated.
You're right. It's like a
Yeah, no, if you guys are comfortable with that.
lizardfish cross frogfish. Lots of these types of bottom dwellers will be potentially venomous, stonefish, the type of thing you step on at the beach.
Zoomed in so you can drive that around a bit.
Oh, cool. Here we go. We've spotted lots of these sand-dwelling sort of blennies, gobies, loving this loose, shaly sediment.
So they don't really know what's going on up in here, so they're just routine.
Quite large pectoral fins nestling nicely on the bottom. You can see a little barbel on the end of his lip. We'll use that to
take on
sense
zoom in.
sense his way around. What's the zoom? Oh, nice. Beautiful. Covered in a little bit of sand, but also some of that is his markings. Oh, that's really interesting. He doesn't look like the greatest of swimmers.
Seems like it's crawling up the rock.
Yeah, I guess hence the really developed pectoral fins.
I think this is the last of its kind.
Strange movement. Really doesn't look like a swimmer.
It's like a half fin, half hand.
Yeah, someone else has pointed out these interesting patterns on this guy. It's almost not really enough to be effective camouflage, is it? Some funny comments coming in from you guys. Yeah, it's really interesting as to whether this is sort of a natural state or Rhinopeus. I'll try and follow it up a bit. Whoa. Let's see if we can follow him across. Really dragging itself along. Be interesting to see if this guy tries to go and hide somewhere or just settles for staying still. Seems reasonably strong for...
Well, clearly he has to walk around with his fins.
Here's a question for you. This little thing at the bottom of the jaw, do you think that's like a lure?
Yeah, potentially.
So
I think
predator, ambush predator?
ambush predator.
Like a worm, it's sort of dangling a worm.
I also wonder maybe if it spends a bit more time buried, and that thing sticks up as a, wobbegong style. They hide under the sediment, sort of nestle themselves in and stick out a lure and then gulp down anything that comes past. Because you'd think if it were sensory, it might be
look at that. See that?
a bit
I
longer.
mean, that's a decent sized jaw.
What?
It's just starting to stretch.
Oh,
Here we go, look at that. Well,
nice.
if there's a shrimp investigating, it'd be just gulped.
Oh, it's going to face us.
Strange way of moving.
It's probably the most exercise it's had to do for a while, I think.
Seems out of breath.
It's not.
We've seen these coffin fish do this very strange walking using their pelvic fins.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a coffin fish, but it just has that odd hand-like crawling across the side.
Its little white markings almost look textured. They kind of, I can't tell if it's sort of pigment in its skin or if it's sort of like an encrusting.
It's symmetrical.
Yeah, it is symmetrical.
Kai's saying a scorpionatid.
Scorpinidae. Scorpinidid. Yeah, some, as we thought, some kind of scorpion fish. And yeah, some, not all, will be venomous. I can't see any obvious barbs.
It's going to fall over.
Yeah. Yeah, fascinating little creature. 200 meters thereabouts, so. I'd like to see a big yawn. I wonder how far in distance it's actually moved. A few meters, half a meter. And perched again. So off balance.
It's gonna fall off this cliff.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Actually, we can get up to maybe 50 meters on this dive.
Oh, really? Cool. Okay, we're gonna. Dean told me he wanted some photos in the lab properly PPE'd, so I went along.
It's wonderful.
He didn't ask me because he knows I don't have any proper.
Mr. Health and Safety.
Someone needs more photos.
Do you have any more room left for collecting? Or?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of room. Yeah. We collect a lot of small colonies, so
BCT was too.
Excellent.
yeah, we should put some hard corals in there. Make Tom happy.
It's a stripy fish.
A lot of people picking on that fish.
Picking on him. Can it swim at all?
What's the live update on that guy, John? I think that's from earlier, right?
Is this white balance or some green creeping in? We're about to enter the true mesophotic zone. You excited, Jeremy?
Super excited.
Thought you would be.
Well, we should look for a deep leptoseries. So we've collected one from 130.
Yep.
We can collect from, if possible, 150. Could happen.
Eyes peeled.
It would be the deepest zooxanthellate coral ever collected in the Coral Sea GBR area ever.
That's a record I think we should be going for. Montipora still.
Can we look at this pink? Just 1 second. Just quickly. Okay. We may continue.
What is it?
Octocoral of sorts.
Octocoral. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Go up a little more.
Nice.
Soft coral, soft coral.
Yeah, I got you, Ben. You got me? How are we looking up there?
Good. I got the headset on, so anything you can see me on.
Okay, thanks, man. Where's that person just going to come up with season with some of the buffer? So I'll stretch out it.
Just at 170-ish. Oh, that looks like a dartfish. It's a pretty nice tall whip here. How tall do you reckon that is? Meter? We are 2.5 meters off the bottom.
Really tall.
So that is quite tall.
Is that a stenophore? Oh no.
Oh.
Is that on?
Has that got a crustacean on
Can't
the top?
see it. Ah, it's a star.
Star, crinoid.
Next.
Always. It's a no from Jeremy. All right, getting some more complex habitat developing now. So we hit 160.
So we should be getting light penetration at this depth, I'd say.
Yeah.
We're doing the light test. Wait, but we still have some lights on, right?
Yeah, we got the lowers on, but if you look at my sit camera, you can see the penetration on it.
Yeah.
Plenty of light.
We'll take a peek up.
Ooh.
Look up. I love these looking up shots.
Oh yeah.
I think they're rad. See where we're going. Yeah, there it is. Oh wow, that looks like a dogtooth tuna up the top right corner. Just went by.
So this is the actual
Oh,
bright
there it is. Yeah,
with all our lights off.
that is quite a large doggy. Right, we're about 6 meters above the benthos now, getting a really cool view.
Oh, we're at 150 now.
Wow. Right, and it's actually really flattened out. Quite a bit.
All right, we should start seeing some
Let's get searching.
scleractinians.
Lights back on. Look back down.
Hello, Ben.
Hello, Ben. Do you see that dogtooth tuna? Yeah. Big fish.
Yeah.
I really.
So I love how you can just tell them that from the outline. So
I really love those up the slope shots where you get to.
yeah,
So now we're gonna look for some more corals.
that's a series.
Yeah.
You got Tom.
Definitely
Well,
need you for
No.
this.
I mean, we have a bunch of Leptocereus, so I think other things like Montipora.
Yeah. What are we at? 140. Yeah.
And some pretty good aspect as well, I think.
I think that that was a Rhinopius. Hey, that
We've had some good
Yeah.
chit chat from these guys.
okay.
Um,
I reckon
Just have been on that.
You won't be able to put this right there.
Luis Rocha might be able to help with that.
are we all the way zoomed in? Whoa. No? It's a no from Jeremy.
Are there currents at play here?
We can't move the boat anymore. That's as far as he's going. He's like right on the edge of the reef, he says.
Okay.
So I've stretched out 190 meters with the boat, but that's pretty much.
Can you come to your port?
I can't unless he moves forward, but we have to go up there and talk to him because there's also the island juts out in front of him.
Ah,
So
right.
we're just kind of between a reef and a hard place here.
Well, reef in a wet place.
I can
Hilarious.
see if I can get a little bit higher into the flats, but I think now we've kind of crushed it over the top page of it.
Yeah.
Just sorry.
And
Just switch that off.
Foiled again. Corporate.
Yeah, what the edge part that is
yeah.
why they're not.
A field of rubble. Oh,
Everything but the outage and the plus. I did earlier, it was awful, but I messed with the ice virus. Alright, hold that back now.
I can already feel the ROV bobbing around here.
Do that if you want.
Wow, real rubble field here.